Hi, Dan again. In this video, I just want to show you some more stuff that I've been working on lately as an expansion to the layer and node effects that I showed last week. So this week, what I'm going to do is show you the ability to import various sequences that you purchase from various vendors. In particular, last year I purchased a few sequences from holidaysequences.com, which are like a 12 CCR tree, some singing faces and stuff. And one of my goals for this year was to get those to be usable within Xlights. Last year I imported them into HLS and then went from HLS into the HLS iData files into Xlights and that whole sequence of events. So I was hoping to kind of simplify some of that and get them into a form that I can use them directly in Xlights. So if you purchase a sequence from them, you're going to see several files. Obviously, you may or may not have an MP3 if they edited it. If not, it's obviously the standard MP3s that you have. They give you the .sup file. This is their superstar file, which has all of the effects for the 12CCR tree. They usually have this underscore sup.lms, which is the superstar file exported to a standard lore file. It's a gigantic file of all the effects in individual type format that you can use. And then if you buy the singing faces, you also get these singing tree.lms files, which it's a smaller because it only will have the information for the singing trees. So what I want to do is use those files to actually create a new sequence from scratch. Now, if you go back to Xlights, a little bit about my display. I have two singing trees and a singing snowman. Those sequences will have four, so I'm actually missing one of the singers. Uh, what I did in HLS is I actually had a fourth singer that I would import into, and then I would copy that information over to one of the other trees or something if I thought it was appropriate. And one of the goals eventually is to be able to do the same thing, is have another singing tree that's copied these imported in, and then kind of copy the effects from that to one of the other singing trees that I have. My tree is a 22 strand tree, which and 50 pixels tall. That doesn't really work well. So what I've done is I've created a there's the mega tree, which is the full thing. And if I actually go over to my models, I have a model that's not part of my display, which is the mega tree front, which if I bring it up, it's treated as a 180 tree, 12 strands, 50. So it's basically like exactly like your 12 CCR tree, and it got the same start channels as what the front 12 strands of my 22 tree thing. So when I import the CCRs, it's basically all the strands are in the back of my 360 tree don't get lit. It's only bringing data in for the front parts of the tree. So just wanted to show you that because that's going to be important. So now if we start off and we create a new musical sequence, I am going to use my Crazy Frog MP3. We'll make it a 50 millisecond. I think I can close off all the rest because it doesn't matter. Go over here. We're going to add some display elements. So we are going to do the mega tree front that I just showed you. We are going to do the singing snowman, the singing trees, and the star on the tree. And hit add. And then we can close that. So we have the various elements. So now the next step is to start filling in some of this stuff. So if we go over to the Convert tab, eventually we may move this over to a separate Import tab, but for now it's on the Convert tab. I'm going to start off with the Singing Snowman. So I select the Singing Snowman, hit the LMS file. We're going to bring in the singing information, so it's the singing trees.lms. And now bring this up, and it shows you all the information that we have about the Singing Snowman, and then we can go through and map channels. So we are going to do the CT1 outline, and whenever the outline is on, we're also going to turn the scarf and the hat on. We won't do the buttons. The mouth upper, so upper lip, middle lip, bottom lip, eyes closed, and eyes open. And they're all filled in. Just hit OK, and boom, it's done. We got that information. And we can do that for the singing tree 1. We'll select the same file. Outline, we're going to do number 2 now. So number 2, outline. Mouth, upper, mouth, mid-lip. Oh, that's number 3. We don't want number 3. We want to make sure we get the right ones. So go CT2, mid-lip. If I can select it. CT, bottom lip. O. Eyes closed. I have 2 channels for each eye separately. So mine are 9 channels instead of your standard 8. So I'll just map the eyes open channel to both of them and hit OK. And then we'll go with the singing tree 2 and do the same thing. And again, but we're going to do this CT3 now. So outline, upper lip, mid lip, bottom lip. O. Eyes closed. Eyes open. Eyes open. I almost did the same thing again and used the wrong one. So we gotta go back up and do that. All number 3 looks good. Hit OK. So we got the singing elements in. So if we go over here and expand one of these things out, you will see we have effects on the various elements. Now they haven't been rendered yet. We only imported them. So we probably want to go through and click the render button, and now you'll see them all get filled in with their rendered data. And if I bring up my house preview and start playing, so we got the singing stuff in. So that's a good start. So the next thing we want to do is we'll do the star. The star is going to be very similar. We're going to use the underscore sup.lms file because we can't get that information out of the superstar file directly right yet. Eventually we might be able to, but right now we can't. Now my star is a 3-tiered star made out of pixels, whereas the superstar star is just 6 individual channels. So what we're going to makes it a little trickier to map. So what we're going to do is I have my strands here. I have my outer, middle, and inner layers. And we can just kind of choose a channel and it would map it to an effect on that entire layer. So if we go down here, so star 1, oops, if I can select, the editor is a little tricky on the map or on the Mac for some reason. So let's see if I can grab star 1, star 3, and star 5 and hit OK. And that should give us the star. So, and then we get the other part of the tree. This is some of the newer stuff. We can use my megatree front, and we're going to grab the LMS file, or the superstar file. Now when you select it, there are images in there, so it's going to ask you where you want to save your images. I am just going to throw them in the temp folder for right now. Ideally, you would probably use your show folder or something here. Crazy Frog images. Just give it a prefix. It's automatically going to put _1, _2 as it goes through and extracts all the images. And there's a lot. The stuff from Holiday Sequences.com generally have 200 or 300 images in them, so you definitely want to find a nice place for them. You'll also then just hit OK, and it'll go through and import everything. You'll notice that there were a few effects in there that it couldn't map, so it'll let you kind of know that you may have to go through and adjust those. Eventually, Gil, as we and I may, as we figure out the fan effect, the new fan effect, so if we can get them mapped, we may throw them. These may go away, and it may just be automatic. So if we go over here, and you'll see now that the mega tree has all kinds of effects on it. Again, they're not rendered, so we have to hit render. Give it a couple seconds, because they are effects are relatively quick. If you kind of click on any of them, you can kind of see things happening. So all the information is there. And if we bring up my preview again and hit start, you can see all the information. So as you can see, it's mostly working. This is all going to be stuff that's going to be new in .29 as soon as we get that release. I do want to again point out that this is coming in as effects. So all the channel data that we brought in from the LMS, they're all X-Light on effects or color wash effects, depending on how they were imported. So you can change the timing, you can copy and paste them, you can kind of do whatever you need to do to these effects to adjust them for what you need to do. And also for on the mega tree, you'll see for everything that was imported, you have the morph effects that are shooting down the mega tree depending on where they are, and various image effects with all of the images that that I pulled in from the Superstar file. So the information's there. Again, you can edit it if you don't like these various colors or the positioning or something like that. You can click on these things and edit them live, and just they'll render. So these are all editable effects and not just raw byte data like you would have if you're just using a data layer. So anyway, I just wanted to show this to you guys, and hope this kind of fulfills a little bit of the promise of being able to use some of the sequences that you find on the net and or purchase from the various vendors and be able to use them from X-Lights directly. Well, thank you.